Like, how would you describe it? And it's like cheap. It's like mouth breathing. It just doesn't feel the same.
Well, I've always learned about like nose breathing through some podcasts in the last couple of years, and I haven't really met anyone who really practiced it except for some breath work at night before people go to bed, until I met like you and Hunter. Like Hunter did it in a class one time and was like, hey guys, like every time you're doing this like chest press, I think at one time it was just like, just focus on nose breathing. And then like when I went on a run with you the first couple times, you were saying, yeah, I tip my mouth or close one nostril and this and that. I was like, what the fuck? These guys are crazy.
Yeah, it's nice in theory, and then think about it like, oh yeah, like if it's just better air, and then yada, like it's, you know.
I've never thought about breathing, dude.
Yeah, but then once it gets to like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. But like.
But you understand it. Like you feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew within the first like couple of weeks. Like Hunter and I were like we had talked about it, and like we sort of started to understand like, okay, so slower on when we exhale, and like if we need to, okay, we can double inhale here, and like just like there's different tricks there. And then over time it's like, yeah, dude, do you mouth breathe anymore? It's like, nah. It's like that's, and then we just like how would you describe it? And it's like cheap. It's like mouth breathing. It just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, yeah, it's like we know it feels wrong, and then like we know the reasons why, and then over time it's like, again, you test it and then prove it, and then you're like, oh, okay. Well.
You test it with yourself.
Yeah. And so then I don't know, always feel the need to be able to explain it perfectly. Like,
why not?
I mean, I should figure that part out, because then it's nice to share if like you can explain it in a way that other people can understand. But.
Yeah, if you're experiencing it in such a positive light, when you want to share it with the people who are questioning about it.
Yeah, I feel challenged on it sometimes. Like, I mean, communications.
Because clearly, if you have a good enough reasoning, like it should open their mind to it.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know, sometimes contradictory, because it's a simple solution. Like, it couldn't be easier. Just breathe through your nose instead of your mouth. Like,
breathe through your nose instead of your mouth, and you'll feel better. That's kind of like.
I mean, like, feel better makes it sound like. I don't know if I have. Yeah.
What's your reasoning for why nose breathing is better than mouth breathing, for you personally? Because obviously there's some science that shows that.
Yeah. So I guess in general, like, I guess one way of I guess I would look at it would be just in times of stress, and it doesn't have to be physical. That's why it sounds like not meatheady, but like just to be general about it, it sounds like that's just bro science. Right? It's like if we're just suggesting like don't breathe out of your mouth but breathe through your nose and then it's gonna solve all your problems. It sounds like that's like there's a lot of ignorance to that, right?
Thank you so much for tuning back into the Nate Biltz Podcast. If you could do me one favor, if you received any value out of this episode, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the world. Thank you for listening and giving me your attention. I appreciate it more than you know, and I'll see you in the next one.